I have 3 different sizes of brushes. I'm using the Degato. These are squirrel hair paint brushes, okay? I love this little kit. It has 3 different sizes, and the watercolor brushes, can you see the difference? So they're made very different than your regular brush, right? They are made kind of fat. They have these fat bellies on them, and that is on purpose so that they can hold the water and the pigment. So you can, yeah, like little witch brooms, right? So anyway, it holds a lot of pigment in there, so that is why. So again, these are Degato. I just got these online. So I've got a number 4, that's my biggest belly one, and then a number 2 is the medium, and the 0, which is the smaller one. So if you notice, and they have a really, really wonderful, like look at the point on that. So after you wet them, especially when you want to dry them, you're going to reshape them. You put your point back on, see that? You put your point back into that when it dries, and it keeps your brushes nice, right? I've got one of my boys, I don't know if you can hear him meowing at me. He probably wants outside. So look at that one. Look at that nice point. So these brushes are made specifically for watercolors, okay? Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you for the likes. I'm already up to over 1,000 likes, you guys. That's amazing. That tells me that my feed is getting out there a little better then. Anyway, hi Susan, G, and Kathy. Anyway, these are made specifically for watercolor, and if you don't have watercolor brushes and you want to, get into watercolors, these are really nice brushes. Anyway, let's get started. So what I did, I'm going to use probably just the medium and the small. So that's the number 2 brush, and the 0 brush is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to take the medium brush, and it's clean, and I'm just going to apply water to the wings, okay? And maybe a little bit onto the belly down through here for right now, okay? So this is called wet on wet painting, because I've pre-wet the pad in places where I want the water to go, okay? So next I'm going to dip into, which I don't even have my colors out, amateur mistake. What do I want to use? I think I want this to be warmer than my last one. Let's see. So I love this violet. So this one I did in cool colors. Cool colors meaning like the greens and the blues and the turquoise and the purple. They're all cool colors. So I want this my new little bird, I want him to be, or her, I want it to be a little bit warmer, okay? So every time you dip, you wash off before you color. Not every time, but when I am pre-wetting my pad, I want to pre-wet it, or at least right now, I want to pre-wet it with a clean brush, okay? So, and then I'll show you why here in a second. Let me get this. Let me get some of this color out. Wait a minute, that's red, isn't it? No, wait a minute. Might be a little too bright, but we shall see. I really like the Grumbacher. These are liquid watercolor, but I also have the, this is Winsor & Newton, and it's just in a little, like a little travel pack, and it's really convenient too. Hi Doreen and Joy and Jen. And then I also have this one too. Now this one is more like, there are clay-based paints mixed into this, so it is not, I wouldn't consider it all it's a little more higher pigment than I think than your regular watercolors, but they're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to use. Okay, let's get started here. What do I got on here? Thanks for your patience today. It's been one of those days. Let's see, let's put this on here. Now, when I put my pigment in my little plate, I like to use a plate that has a lip on it, okay? So there's these are like little bowls, there's little lips on it. So I like to put it up here on the lip, and then I can pull it down here if I want it runnier and lighter, or if I want it like a higher pigmentation, I can pull off of the lip of the little plate here, okay? Thank you guys so much for the hearts and the likes and the sharing out. I really do appreciate that. So I've got the color I just put on there, that is Violet Toner. And then this is Violet. And the Violet Toner, it's probably a little more transparent than your regular watercolor. And actually, I had never used it before. It was on clearance, and that's why I bought it, because I was curious. And so that's what I would recommend to do, is when you find things that are interesting, just grab it and try it. Okay, so I'm going to take my medium brush here, and I'm going to dip into some of these colors here, the violet. Okay, and hopefully you can see, I'm going to, maybe I can blow this up a bit. Let's see. Is that better? So then you can see a little bit better. Okay, now when I drop this, it should kind of spread. Look at that. See how that spreads? So we can kind of dapple it on here wherever we want it, right? So that's where I want that. And I think I'm going to pre-wet. I think I'm going to pull some of this color down here as well. And I'm going to put it in here. Sound effects always help too, right? And then I'm just going to kind of push and pull till I get the pigment kind of where I want it. Now, I'm going to soak some of that off of there. Now this is just your first layer, okay? So don't, we've got, I have found no matter what medium I'm doing, that it is really kind of all about the layers, okay? Something else that is kind of cool is, let's say that I look at that and I think, oh my gosh, I have too much paint on there. I can take this, my clean brush, and I can pick up paint from it, okay? I don't know if you guys can see just what I did there, but I just picked that right up, and it softened that up a little bit for me. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I appreciate that. Whoever did that, you're my favorite. Oh shoot. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to go in. Remember, I've got this over here, the other wing that I wet down. I'm going to re-wet it. And let's do that one, like maybe, let's do some turquoise. What is this? This is indigo, which is going to be a little bit more blue. If there's any questions, just put it in the comment section and I'll do the best to flip through and see if I've missed anything. It's hard to paint and talk and come back and read all the questions. So hello Junk Boss, I think you were here earlier, weren't you? Anyway, so let's go with this olive green. May as well put some of that on here. We're going to use that olive green. May have gotten too much. It just takes a little bit, gang, just a little bit. Now I think if I'm going to take a little bit of this olive green. Okay, and I'm going to put it in this my other little bowl that I have here. Okay, there's that, and I'm going to pull some of this indigo and I'm going to combine it with the olive green, and let's see if we can create some really cool colors. It's a little bit darker than I want it, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to pull some more. But don't be afraid to mix colors, okay? I think that's really so interesting when people mix their own colors together and they're not just using everything out of the tube, right? So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to drop this over here. Remember, this is wet. This is kind of pre-wet. We're just going to run this here. Let's see, do I want, let's do it up here. Now I'm doing wet on dry, okay? That means I did not pre-wet his head. So it's a little more controlled, if that makes sense. Now I clean my brush off and I'm going to go through and now I'm going to move that pigment a little bit. Hi boy. My kitty's getting a little anxious here. So we can just kind of push. We just kind of manipulate the pigment is really what happens. Okay, so I feel, let's do a little bit. You know what, I'm going to use the smaller brush. And it has a little bit of water on it, so I'm going to do some lining here. Let's see, this is the wing. So the wing, that's where I was doing it wrong. The wing needs to come down below the neck. That's where I was, that's what was throwing me off. And then I'm going to pull that up. So there will be a shadow right there. Okay, for his little neck. Hi Kathy. How are you? Thanks for the like, Deanne. Deanne, I think you're my favorite tonight. Are y'all having a wonderful New Year's? I sure hope so. So I'm having a lot of fun. I have a online membership, like an art group, and I teach a lot of acrylic painting there. Some watercolor, but mostly we use clay-based paint as well as acrylic paint. So I've really been just, how artsy fartsy people are. We like to keep things changed up a little bit. We got to keep things fresh. So working with the watercolors has been a lot of fun. I'm going to dip over here now. This is has some of the clay-based paint in it. So it's going to really be highly pigmented, which I love. But you want to remember when you're using it that it covers really, really, really easily and well, which is awesome. But I do always want to remember. And what that means is it just takes a little bit, goes a long way with it. It's pretty special stuff. I don't know if you can see how it's meshing into the other colors. I'm just kind of activating it right into the green, and oh, it looks so yummy. Right? I feel like every time I do this, it gets better and better. And sometimes I get frustrated, you know, as we all do when we're using mediums that maybe aren't our normal. But I will tell you, it's been very rewarding. So here I want to put a little tad bit down here, and then I'm going to wet my brush, and then I want to kind of spread it out a little bit. Can you guys see okay? I hope that you can. And I apologize that I'm not able to see all the comments and as well as I'd like to. Okay. I like that he's kind of a stout little thing. I like that, right? So I want to blend this out into his belly a little bit. And you can come up here and just reactivate all of this. It's a fairly tight painting still. I'm gonna dip into some of that pink color. Remember when I started, I said I want to add a little bit of warmer colors than I had on my first one that I did. This was the first one. Hey Rob, how are you? Thank you. Are you having a nice new year? I'm glad that I caught you, because I am not always able to see everybody's comments. Really had a difficult time even getting on the live today. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and full of blessings and all the things. Okay, so I pre-wet down here, so we're going to drop it in. Let's see, thanks for the follow. I think that was Teresa, maybe is her name. Finally getting our cold snap. Yes, we are too. We had snow today. Woke up to a blanket of snow. It was so pretty. So I have in my TikTok, in my stories, I posted a picture of the deer in our yard today. It was so pretty. They were so cute. So I want to run, I'm going to pull this pigment up on this belly here, okay? A little bit. See what happens. I need to pre-moisten this a little bit. Now here I left a little bit of that pigment in there, and that's okay. There's times when you're going to have to walk away and kind of let it dry, and there are times when you can kind of mop it up a little bit with a paper towel. Now, when you use your paper towels, be very aware of the print on your paper towel because it will leave indentation on your artwork. So you can use like the Viva brand is a nice brand. You could use that, and it's actually pretty smooth. I want to add a little bit of orange tone down here. I just want him to be really colorful and all that stuff. Or her, I guess it could be a her. Okay, so this has, and I've got references of hummingbirds that I can look at, so I want to just kind of and you can see how the colors are just kind of melting together. Thank you, Tree Hugger. Appreciate that. Okay, let's go in. Again, I can pick that water up, and then I can go back in and add a little more pigment if I want to. Let's see, I think I want to throw in, let's do, I might want it more gold, but for right now I'm going to put in some of this brighter yellow, but I think I might need it to be a little more on the darker gold side, so we'll see. I can add that here in a little bit. So I'm just going to go back over and just kind of tap in little places here and there and let it mush and kind of melts into each other, right? And that's okay. I think I'll drop in a little bit of a gold. It's almost like a ochre. So I'm going to drop in thank you so much, you guys, for sharing this out and talking and enjoying. And I apologize if I miss your question. I'm not able to run my other device tonight to look at comments because I'm having a little bit of tech issues. So I'm going to pick that up. I should not have left my brushes sitting in there either. So one thing that you don't want to do, especially with these that have the nice point on it like this, rinse it off and then take it out of the water. Kind of bad about that sometimes. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. I'm pretty happy, pretty stoked about it so far. So I think I want to do kind of like a little bit of a salmony corally. So I'll do a bit of this. So I'm going to take my orange tone and I'm going to put it on my little plate. So this is why when you look at watercolor artists, that's why they have paint up in this part of it. So this is our little, where we mix our colors together. So see, I'm going to mix a little yellow into that orange tone, and it's going to give me a nice kind of a corally kind of a color. Let's put a little bit of that ochre in there just to deepen it up. Get a little bit deeper. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do, add a little bit of pink to that. Just a little. There we go, that's a little bit better what I had in mind. It's all about the layers, remember? Thanks so much. Hi, let's see, we got River here, David's here, Kay here, Lacey, Emily, Glenn, Sue. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Do I have any other watercolor artists that are with me today? So you can come in and kind of remove like his little eye needs to go on, huh? Let's see if we can. I think I need a different brush. Boom. Put a little bit in of his eye and his nose, and I think it'll kind of start to come together a little bit better for us, right? Thank you guys so much for sharing this out and hanging out here. I really appreciate y'all. Let's see. Let's do. See him. It's more of a brown. The lighting is not the best here right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna make the best of it. Okay. Let me just dip into some black over here. I do want to be careful because I don't want it to get out of hand on me. Let's put a little eye on. Little almond. Okay. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Let's go Don't you just love little hummingbirds? I was laughing, my husband and I, this past summer. I'm like, we get a weekend off together, and we're just like hanging out at the house. I said, well, I guess we're at that age where we just enjoy being home, watching the birds and the deer, and you know, anybody feeling the same? We just enjoy it. We enjoy if those of you that are new here, if you haven't, first of all, you need to follow my TikTok. I hope that TikTok's going to stay around for a while. I enjoy it here. But on my, I don't know what they call it. They call it stories or what they call it. But I posted today all of the deer that were in our backyard. They were so cute. They were frolicking, I guess. They were really cute. But boy, that really made a difference, didn't it? Putting his little beak on him, huh? A little shadow in there, maybe. But yeah, that's the way it goes. I think we just get to that point in life, right, where we just really admire those peaceful moments. I know I do. I mean, everything's so life. People are so serious and about everything, and kind of mean to each other too, if you think about it. Or they seem nice and then they actually are, you know. And isn't that disheartening when you are, well, you think you're friends with somebody and then you come to find out they basically just talk about everybody behind their back. It's kind of like, well, that's not kind of disappointing, but it's a thing. So yeah, so it is nice when you can have a safe place to live and be with your person. Enjoy the moments, huh? Deanne says, I stay home a lot now. Very satisfied being with my pets and artwork. I know, right? Me too. I have a lot of friends that I've met online. It's been a wonderful place to kind of find your people. And I've met up with people. I do retreats with people that I've met online. We go places together. We've traveled together. It's just been wonderful. So those of you that, you know, feel trapped in your community, you know, there's more out there. There are people just like you out there. You just have to put yourself out there, find your people. And the ones that aren't, you know, the ones that, like I said, the people that really hate that, especially with women, there's there's no need to pull down another woman. So you should be lifting each other up, ladies, right? There's no need to be mean girls, right? But I still see it. That's what's so crazy. Still see it. I see it in my local community. I just am like so just exploring. I'm really happy with where this one's going, guys. She's looking really good, isn't she? I'm pretty happy with her. It's still pretty tight. I'm gonna have to loosen her up a little bit, but so remember, this is just my first layer, okay? And my very first layer right here. So this is a watercolor for those of you that are just joining. Thank you for being here. If you have not, if you haven't liked my page yet, then why? If you would like to, if you like all things art, I'd love to have you along on my TikTok. I hope TikTok's gonna stay here. I really enjoy it. Trying to detail his little eye, but this might be the wrong brush for that. But I would love to have you follow me on here, and I go live quite often on here. Sometimes I just am working on different things, and sometimes I go live, like the other day. So I have a cello that I'm working on that I painted, and it is going to be for the Springfield Symphony. It's their fundraiser. And so I came live and was working on that one day. So that was kind of fun. Something different. But it was a lot of fun. I keep thinking I'm done with it, and then I think of more things I want to do. So I'm just trying to detail this out a little bit. I think I'm liking him better than my original one. Yeah, so I'd love to have you come hang out. I have some other things that I want to work on live here with everybody, and it's a great place to meet people too. I do have an online art membership group, so if anybody wants to be in the group, I've got it, and we do a in-person meetup once a year and paint, intuitive painting together and all kinds of good stuff. All right, so I feel like I need to, this is pretty dry, so I was kind of detailing. Look how cute she is. I was kind of detailing her face out. Thanks for the follow, Kathy. So glad to have you hanging out here. So I feel like I have her little face kind of detailed out pretty well. So I think what I want to do next, and I'm sorry about the shadows, is I want to go in and do some detailing on her wings. Thank you for the heart. That was so kind. I don't know much about that kind of stuff, but I do appreciate. I know that that's a little gift that people send, and I just think that's really sweet. Okay, but you don't have to do anything like that. Just being here is enough. But I do appreciate it. That's very, very kind. So I'm going to, I think I want to dip into, let me think. I need a purpley. Let's go back into this purple. And I want my small brush. Yeah, that's really sweet. I do appreciate that so much. Very kind. What are my, And you guys are awesome. I have like over 5,600 likes already, you guys. I think that might be the most I've ever gotten. You guys are awesome. You guys are my favorites ever. All right, so let's see. I'm looking for my purple, which is, I think I already have it on here. Let's see. I've lost it. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Violet. Okay. Let me get a little bit of this. Now I'm going to try to do a little bit of wet on dry. So that means my brush is wet, my paint is pretty wet, but, thank you Kathy, but my paper right here is pretty dry. So we'll see what'll happen here. Let's just try to, need to put some detailing in here for the wings, okay? Slightly. I'll add a little blue over here. Thank you guys so much. Y'all were awesome. Let's do a little blue. It's going to be pretty colorful, isn't it? But that's why they're so fun, because you can kind of get away when you're painting, being a little more kind of whimsical, I guess, right? I'm gonna take this and kind of detail this part out a little bit. I think what I'll do, like I need a little bit of a darker. So those of you that are new to me, I do have a YouTube channel, and you can find it under Girl Upcycled Studio on YouTube, and I just dropped a new video. I don't know, I think it was yesterday actually. So it is a studio tour, so it's kind of fun, and it'll kind of show you the studio and a little bit of what goes on there and all the things. So it's kind of cool. And then I've got another video I'll be dropping hopefully next week, and it's actually going to be more of a start to finish of the intuitive art process. So the intuitive art process I highly recommend for any of you that are painters, artists, to learn how to paint like that. Done. Thanks, Pam. Hi, Rosie. How are you? Good to see everybody tonight. Simply Made. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Gabron, and PJ's here. Hello, everybody. Miss Alex, Kaz, Teresa. Good to see everybody. Let me give you a little peek. This is where I'm at so far. I'm working on the wings. So detailing him, or her, detailing her out. I'm going to call it a her because she's so colorful. Although with the birds, it's usually the male birds are the more colorful ones, so it might be a he. But I'm pretty happy with this one. So this is the one I did yesterday, and I feel like I've got to go in and detail it a little bit more. But this one I'm liking much better. Oh, thank you. Who did that? That was so nice. Who was that? Oh, Rick the Muse. Thank you, my friend. I know who you are. You're the one that does all the poses for the artist. I think that is so cool that you do that, by the way. So one of these days I'll have to sketch you, or actually I'll probably paint. I paint better than I sketch. All right, so let's do, let's see. I think this needs to come out a little bit more. What's wrong, buddy? My little kitty back there making noise. Felt like I was being watched. Because I was. But yeah, I've met some very kind people on here. That is for sure. It's a very nice community. Hopefully it'll stay. Thanks so much, everybody. Oh my goodness, what is that? What was that? Rick, stop. You don't have to do that. Just being here is enough. That was so sweet of you. Very kind. I hope I can catch you live so I can return the favor. I don't even know how to do that yet. Not funny. Okay. So this is, sorry about the shadows. There we go. This is the detailing that I just put on. I think I need to work down here a little bit on him. I'm pretty happy with this one. Pretty happy. Okay, so starting on my second layer. Remember I talked to you about layering. It's all about getting those layers added. Sometimes we're adding layers and sometimes we're pulling off. So if you're seeing me right now, I'm pulling a little bit off up here. So it's not always about adding. We can remove as well, which is kind of cool. All right, so let's go down here. I'm gonna dip into, let's see, I feel like I need more of a violet, or I mean more of a blue purple. And I'm gonna wet this. I'm gonna pre-wet this in a couple places. Now, do you guys remember why I told you we pre-wet? We pre-wet the page so that when we drop that pigment down in there, it just liquefies, right? So that's what I'm going to do right now. And you'll see that it just kind of puddles and just kind of does this beautiful transitioning here. So if you do it on the dry, so this is a good example. So where I did the lines, it's dry there and it's wet there. So you can really see the difference of the two, right? So you can even, like, if you get that wet and you want to puddle it around, you can move your page a little bit if you want to. All right. I want to soften this just a little bit. I'm really liking this one a lot. And I'm just kind of meshing it around. Okay, because I want to see, you know, all those yummy colors in there. All right. What else? I think I want to add. Darker details. So the watercolors are just so beautiful and soft. Just something about them. And I do like the fact that, I mean, you can take them anywhere. Go into a coffee shop. I used to do that when I had my baby, she's like 22 now, but I used to take my paints and, you know, if I needed a little time to myself, I just take my paints and take off to the coffee shop with my paints, my watercolors, or I go to the library. That's a good place too. So I just want to pop in some little touches of warmth. Straighten that belly out a little bit. Okay, that's how he's looking right now, guys. Thank you for the follow, E, whoever you are. I appreciate that. Hi, Kathy. How are you? And Shani and Stacy and Butterfly Dream and April and Candace. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. If you're brand new here, say hello to everyone. I hope you're talking amongst yourselves. Making friends on here. I love it when, you know, we have this community of people that feel comfortable talking to each other. That's always nice. Put a little bit of detail in here just to, might be too wet. So if I was doing this, you know, not in a live, I would probably give this time to dry right here. Actually, I might be able to do that. So that's what that's looking like. Let's see. I feel as though there might need to be detailing here. Okay. It might be some shadows, maybe. A little bit of shadow there, right? Let's see. makes it a nice little purpley shade, doesn't it? Thanks so much. Let's see, so there'll be a stew. Let's see. Hope you're enjoying the music too. It's pretty relaxing, isn't it? I think so. Let's see. So this is just the first coat. Let's get a big brush for this next. I want to put some greenery in. So I'm going to loosen things up a little bit here, gang, because it's getting a little bit too... too formal for my liking. All right. Dip into this green. I'm really gonna goop it up. Let me pull this in so you can see a little bit better. I'm gonna just goop it up. Hardly see where I put the water. Okay. I might have that too close, huh? There you go. Then you can go in and pull some of that off if you need. I think I'm going to pull in a little bit, some darker. You want the dark in there as well because it's going to get the illusion of the shadows. So I'm just mixing some of that blue in with the green. You don't have to do like each one, you know, each individual leaf. You can just kind of every once in a while do a little insinuation of a leaf or something, like, so we're like right here, let's do one. And then you can also use the back of your brush to kind of put in some lines and whatnot if you need to. Okay. Pretty happy with it so far, guys. What are y'all thinking? I feel like the flowers need some help, but other than that, let's go in. Let's do a little bit of let's see. I was going to change things up a little bit. Got a little bit too wet. Okay, let's do. Need a little bit lighter color. Oops. Boy, I really got that one messed up, didn't I? Let's see if I can fix it. Let's see what we can do. I think I'm going to put a little pop of like a brighter red around some of these because they are attracted to red, right? Let's just warm it up a little bit. I'm not hating it at all, I have to say. I'm not hating it so far. Okay. actually think that's probably even, I don't think I need to add too much more, really. Just add some movement to it or something like that. What do y'all think? You think I should add anything else? Pretty happy with him. He's pretty cute. Okay. Kitty. Like if that would dry, I feel like I could detail that out a little bit more. All right, let's just. What you doing, bud? Just add some dark to the green. All right, what else? Just add a little bit of color over here. I feel like that's pretty good. I think I'm at the point where I need to kind of let it dry, and then I think I will. I always like to add some splashes, but I think I want to wait until tomorrow and see if I need to add anything else. So what I mean by splashes, so I might like see how his wings. I may make his wings kind of like drip out, so it's more like this one, but I kind of want to let it dry. That flower up here needs worked on for sure. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking, gang. What did y'all think? I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see, that would be amazing. Yeah, so I usually wait and do that last. So that's why I'm not doing it right now. So tomorrow this wing will be like meshed out, or I may wait and just do the back one and leave the front one the way it is and just kind of like I did here. So I left more detail in the front wing and I meshed out or blended out that back wing. So actually that's probably what I need to do with this one, is just blend out that back wing into the background a little bit. the flowers, I'm going to work on the flowers a little bit more. I'm not overly excited about them, so I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I've been working on it for a while tonight. And I get to the point where I feel like I need to rest my eyes for a minute, and then in the morning I'll come back and with my little cup of coffee and I'll be like, oh, I know what it needs. All right, let's see. Deanne says, yes, the front wing is so pretty. Yeah, I think I need to leave that one and just blur out the back. And actually, that's what normally when I blur things out, it's to fade it into the background anyway, so it would make more sense to blur out that wing in the back a little bit more, so it looks like it's going back further, right? Flowers need some work. I'm not totally happy about the flowers. I'm okay with the color. The blue color, maybe should have just done them all in blue, but that's okay. We can change it, right? It's paint, and that's the one thing that I feel like is when you're dealing with paint, there's not too much that you can't fix. You know? I mean, it's just paint, right? If only life were that easy. Are there any questions? I hope you enjoyed tonight's session. If you're brand new here, my name's Kelly Wiler. I'm a full-time artist. I'm in Ohio. I have an art studio in town, and I work there full-time. I'm open 2 days a week to the public. Other than that, I'm usually online painting. I teach online. Actually, I'm teaching online tomorrow night at 6. I have an online art membership group. Anybody's welcome to join if you'd like to learn how to paint. I do mostly like acrylic painting, clay-based paint, and some watercolor in the class. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you back here again soon. All right, have a nice night.